Hello and welcome to my video, lesson 6.2, about complex trigonometry problems. So if you haven't yet, please make sure that you've watched my last video that goes over Trigonometry Sohcahtoa in the basics, because we need to know that before we can move on to these problems. That being said, I'm just going to quickly show you some of those basics right now. Sohcahtoa is an acronym that helps us remember three different equations and their orders, basically. So the first one is SO, which is sine of the angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. And the point is that there's an SO of the angle equals adjacent over hypotenuse, CAH. And the last one is tan of the angle equals opposite over adjacent, TOA. So that's Sohcahtoa. And we can rearrange each of these then, to give us a more useful equation solving for any one of the three values. I will only show you the sine ones, but you can extrapolate it to any of the other ones. So the first easiest one is O equals H times sine theta. So the next one would be H equals O over sine theta. And then finally, you could have theta equals sine -1 of opposite over hypotenuse. And then each of these can be used for the other two equations as well. You just kind of have to rearrange it depending on which letter you're looking for. Okay, or which unknown, I guess, is the better way to look at it. Okay, so there's a word problem here. There's two different word problems. This one doesn't have anything drawn for it, so let's take a look and start drawing it. There's a windmill on top of a hill. Okay, a windmill on top of a hill. Let's draw this. Hill and, maybe big windmill. Okay, there's a windmill on top of a hill. When you look up at it, you need to look up by 5 degrees. So maybe there's a little person over here. And they need to look up at it by 5 degrees. Right? So they need to look up at it by 5 degrees. You check on Google Earth and find that it is 600 meters away. Okay, so this is using Google Earth, so it would be a very flat definition or version of the events. So flat right there, and we find that it is 600 meters away. Including the hill, how high is the top of the windmill? Okay, so there are 3 steps. Let's first write down. How high is the top of the windmill? Let's write that down. So we want including the hill from there till there, or whenever the angle stops, right? How high is this? This is what we're looking for. Okay, so there's 3 steps that you always need to take in one of these types of questions. First step is locate, find the triangle. This is super important. So what is the triangle that we're looking for? So in this case, I'm going to just go over it with red here, and then press undo again after. So here to here to here, that is our triangle. Right? So you can see our triangle there. That's what we're looking for. So find the triangle. Step 2 is to choose the equation. So choose between so, ca, and toa. So which of the three should we use here? Well, we're looking for the opposite side, and we have the adjacent side. We don't care one iota about, one iota, about hypotenuse. Okay, so which of the three equations does not use that? Well, let's look here. So, Sohcahtoa, we do not care about the hypotenuse. This one has an H, this one has an H, so we're left with toa. Okay, and you'll find that that happens a lot with these sorts of problems. Okay, so we know we want to use toa. Next, once we do that, we rearrange and solve. All right, so let's go ahead and try this question out. So tan of the angle, 5 degrees, equals opposite over adjacent. Adjacent is 600 meters. I have no idea if this is going to be too tall. I didn't actually look, but maybe the hill is really big. Okay, anywho. So tan of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. And then you need to rearrange and solve. So take 600, move it over to the other side because you want the unknown by itself, which is the O in this case. So 600 times by tan of 5 degrees equals O. And then you plug it into your calculator. So 600 times tan, 5 degrees. It's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. It's a little bit big, but maybe the hill's tall. 52.49. I'll just go 0.5 meters. All right, so this is a somewhat basic question because there's only one triangle. This question is going to be a little bit more challenging. Let's take a look. There are two apartment buildings near each other. The one is taller, and the tops are 15 degrees from each other. So as you're reading, you should kind of usually draw in what you see. So I'm going to start with this side here. Go like this. And I'm going to say this is 15 degrees. Okay, so tops are 15 degrees from each other. Find the difference in heights if the shorter building is 10 meters tall. Well, the shorter building is 10 meters tall. Let's make that smaller. Okay, so the shorter building is 10 meters tall. So what can I do here? There's one value missing here. Okay, there's supposed to be one other value here that I forgot to have, and that is the angle I don't know why I didn't. I made a mistake. But let's say this is 10 degrees. Okay, that should be written up here somewhere, so not bad there. So 10 degrees from the bottom of the tall to top of the short building. I was just thinking ahead and I was like, this is not going to work out. Okay, anyways, now we have this. Pause it, try it out for yourselves, and then press play again. Alright, so we always go with the same sort of steps with finding a triangle, finding the equation, and then solving for it. So first here, this is our triangle that we want to find because we want the side up here, the opposite side. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to solve for that opposite side, keeping in mind that that height thing is 10 meters tall. So we're not using the hypotenuse. We do not care about the hypotenuse. So that means we're going to be using the tan function. So tan of 10 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Okay, then you move the 10 meters over. So 10 meters, 10 times tan of 10 degrees equals opposite. And that equals 10 times 10, 1.76. Oh, that's way too much. Or too little, sorry. Well, whatever. The numbers are what they are now. It should be a higher number than 10 degrees. Oh, it should be much higher. Okay. I made a mistake. I just made up a number and it's too small. This should be like 1... No, this should be 80. Should make that 10. So this would be 10. That would be 80. Okay. Okay. Yes, that's much better. Okay, it's 56.7. Okay, much more realistic number. Okay, so anywho, sorry about that. Now we can, now we have part of the answer for this orange triangle up here, because now we know that opposite side is 56.7 meters. So we are now looking for this side up here, because we're wanting to find the difference in height. So again, we're going to be using the tan equation. Tan of 15 degrees is opposite over adjacent, 56.7 meters. That's going to come over to this side. So 56.7 times tan of 15 degrees equals opposite. And if we type that in, times by tan, 15, we get an answer of 15.2 meters. So what's the difference in height? 15.2 meters. Sorry about that change in number there. It would have drastically made everything kind of messed up. But it's all good now. Fixed. Alright. I hope this video helps you understand complex trigonometry problems a little bit better. Good luck.